I'm trying to maximize on my dimensional hole energy, right? Because it's a premium resource, and as a pretty much average tier player, in order for me to really catch up, I really need to make the most use of those dimensional hole energy. So I'm gonna
is
be
that
real patient.
is that a way to say, hey, I just didn't do it yet because I'm not good enough and I couldn't figure out the dungeons, so I don't want to do it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Aloha, everybody from the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another podcast. Of course, with the massive update, you could have already expected more than one podcast in a week. So we got a group of people here that I don't think we've never had this group of people. Well, I guess because Finn Games is our second time being here, so welcome back. Fate Man, welcome back as well. It's been a while since we've seen your forehead. I mean, since we've had you on the podcast. But how you guys doing? How's the update going for you guys so far? Is it you guys entertained? Yeah, frustrated?
Yeah, a little both.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's like
Fun.
It's okay, I guess.
It's fun. Okay, all right. Let's just dive right into the questions that I got lined up here today. Topic number one that we're going to be discussing is about the dungeons, right? Basically what I kind of just asked. How are you enjoying the update so far? And how are your teams? Are you, finding it that it's pretty easy? It was kind of easy to transition from your, B10 teams to B12. In terms of, SB10 and I just put SB10 twice, but SB10 and PB10. Have you figured out teams for those as well? And are they consistent? Or is it kind of difficult? What is your opinion on all this? And how's that all going for you? Let's start off with DJ actually, since it seems I know you always try to brainstorm a bunch of different teams, and you gave me some suggestions recently as well.
Yeah, I've only really done the Punisher one so far. I don't plan to do B12. Like, I just spent 6 years farming runes, and I have 0 artifacts.
True.
So I haven't really played with it at all. I noticed that the resistance is a lot higher on B12 though, so that's kind of rough.
Yeah, it is, right? Like it doesn't just feel like it. It is, right?
No, it's 80% resistance now.
Wait, how do you know that? Like, did it say, or where'd you get that from?
From data mine.
I mean, who doesn't have 85 accuracy these days?
Yeah.
But on your dungeon?
Yeah, a little bit more of a requirement now, right? Interesting. But what about the SB10 and the PB10? Was there any data mining on the accuracy and resistance for those?
I haven't seen it yet, if it is out there.
Okay. So I guess that's a fair point. We've been farming runes for literally forever. So why would we farm more runes now, right? Even though it's 2.5 times legendary and can't get 5-star runes, it's time to farm artifacts. All our units are naked, right? The analogy I gave on stream was that you have all these units now, and you're now allowed to wear boots and gloves. So why would you go and farm better shirts when you need to get boots and gloves for all your units, right? Got to get everybody all geared up. Yeah. What about you, Lucky? How's that all going? Yeah, we had some fun yesterday on stream, actually. And
we did. That was a lot of fun. So, for the guys that don't know, it was Brian, myself, and Ababo doing the Dimensional Boss together. And we kind of went in blind as best we could. And kind of got across the line eventually. But it was just really awkward seeing the mechanics up front first. But we got there. Me personally, with these dungeons, similar to DJ, I'm not even worried about doing B12. I just did it to clear it just because. It did require changing my team because I think we kind of all just got used to our monsters being where they were to clear the waves as easy as it was. But once you got into B12, it wasn't really working as cleanly. So I had to kind of adjust them accordingly. But I'm not planning on fixing up that team at all. I'm not planning on doing any B12s for now. It's going to be the 2 artifact dungeons as quickly as possible. And that's what my focus has been so far, trying to run them as close to 100%. And I think I'm at around 45 to 50 seconds per dungeon at the moment.
But I'm about to say 45 to 50% success rate.
No, 45
the hell?
And I've got the Punisher Crypt at I'm playing around with the team. I got to move some runes. I haven't moved runes yet. So I'm going to try get them down to about 30 seconds. I think if I get the right turn order and the right runes onto those units, it should be able to be about 30 seconds, I think, with no problems.
Okay. How about you, Finn Games? How are you enjoying so far?
So I actually only really got to test out a lot of it within the last maybe 3-4 hours because it's a busy day being dead and going to work. But I think my main philosophy right now is to use as many LD Nat 5s as I can and just try to smash face through it. I have done B12, specifically Giants. I did notice there is a big difference in the type of rune quality you get, and I think for mid to early game, it's going to make a big difference. Especially, I think like you said, shoes and gloves are really important, but I don't think it makes up the core of the stats. I think the core of the stats are definitely going to come from your core rune sets. And if a lot of the early to mid game players are still missing those runes, I think they're going to close that gap a lot faster now because the runes are a lot better coming from B12, and especially since they're all 6-star now. So I think that's a good positive. Thanks to you, I came up with a better Punisher's Crypt team. I don't have Jolton, so I'm just going to use Hertiite to Sema, and it should be fine. Totally farmable and
Wait,
totally
you're gonna use
free to
what?
play. Hertiite and a Sema.
Why do you say it like
'Cause-
that?
I don't know.
Just be a man. It's her tit.
Oh, Hertiite.
I'm just
My
kidding.
apologies.
I don't even know the pronunciation of it, but the Dark Lightning Emperor and Asthma, I guess because thoughts are really good in that dungeon. So I forgot you had
Right.
Asthma. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
But did you struggle too much with it, or was fairly easy to come up with the teams?
I struggled
Yeah.
for quite a while. I struggled pretty much all stream, and I didn't even really think of this team until maybe like 5 minutes before your podcast started, and it seems pretty consistent.
Okay.
Again, killing the towers is the way I'm gonna go.
Hmm.
Probably again because I don't have that Jolton.
And it doesn't seem it's that much slower either, which is kind of nice. So
No, I think I'm running at about 130, so it's
That's not
not
bad.
incredibly fast, but it's doable.
yeah, that's not bad at all.
Must be nice to have LD Nat 5s.
Yeah, yeah.
But what rank are you usually in the RTA? Because I honestly would like to say that a lot of players in the community can actually relate to you because they're they're in that range, right? Because you said yourself last time on the podcast, you're not like the Guardian players, right? You don't have the Guardian runes or whatnot. You're in the
So I'm probably around C2. Currently, I'm floating at F3 only because I'm lazy and I like kind of being the gatekeeper to Conqueror. It's fun, just out runing straight up. But yeah, I'm probably in the Conqueror 2 area. So I would say I'm like middle of the pack, maybe just slightly above, most players, but not definitely not in the Guardian ranks. No DJ, KJK or anything, or Lucky. And definitely not Josh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How about you, Josh? How's it going for you with dungeons? I know your brain is kind of nut. So was it easy for you? Was it fun? Or what?
It was okay. We were at barbecue last night, right, when the patch hit.
Here we go. Here we go.
The dimensional, like the ancient rune, right?
Yeah.
That dungeon hit, right? So basically, I went in, and then like I recall like reading somewhere that you were supposed to manual it, but then I saw the autoplay button down there. I'm like, ooh, hey, I can actually auto this. So I pressed auto, and it looked like it was like working fine, like the monster was attacking by itself. So I went to eat barbecue, right? And like 15 minutes later, I looked down. I'm still stuck in the two little bot. Like, two little yeah, I don't know how many times I killed it, but it's like still stuck there. And then like I had to go read what their I had to go read what their passives were, and then I figured I had to AoE it to kill it. I'm like, oh my god! I just sat there for 15 minutes autoing that.
Feels bad, dude.
Yeah.
But how about your dungeons? Did you do B12? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I didn't do it. I farmed artifacts, dude. My Sierra gained 4K bomb damage in one night.
That's crazy, dude.
Wow.
That's so crazy. These artifacts can add that edge, right? Especially for players like you that are end game and you guys have really kind of stretched your runes decently far. These new artifacts literally let you go to above and beyond. You know what I mean? Unreachable territories. So it's kind of cool. Definitely kind of cool. Well, how are your dungeons going? Is it easy? Easy face? 1 minute? Less than a minute?
Yeah,
teams?
just face around 1 minute, maybe a little bit over. Because I like a little bit more consistent on my runs, so I always bring sustain in it. So, yeah.
Okay, true. I mean, because a lot of people don't think about it, but when you fail, it actually adds up, and that's actually making your run slower. So if you're running a minute or slightly less than a minute, and you're failing every couple times, I mean, basically, you got to add those fails in. So you're running like 1 minute 30, or so you might as well just make it a little bit more consistent and potentially have faster times with that consistency. So very, very good. Okay, at least for me, I've been having fun. I've been having fun trying to figure out the dungeons. It's kind of crazy to watch people in the community kind of like frantically, somebody says this and everybody's like, oh my god, that's so good, and then they try it, and then it turns out it's only okay. And then somebody else has like a totally different idea, and then they run it. It seems like it's OP. Everybody like kind of shifts to that, and then that one's only okay as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see where these dungeons settle. What becomes?
I mean, end of the day, like all the teams that people tell you, it's really depending on rune quality, right?
Yes.
It's like it's honestly, it's just another rune check.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fair, right? Because it's kind of like the next content, right? Would it be fair to say that players are not going to farm artifacts until they farm runes? So it's supposed to be progressive, right? It's not supposed to be the same level. I like to say it's supposed to get a little bit harder, nonetheless. So it makes sense that the dungeons are a little bit tougher. And I always tell people that back in the day when raids was out as well, like R5, remember that? It took people forever to figure out that dungeon, and now we just do it like a breeze. I mean, there's new units and stuff. People got stronger, but we do it so easily now, and it was so tough back then. So, yeah. Okay, glad to hear everybody's enjoying their B12s and their SB10s and PB10s. Hopefully, everybody gets good artifacts. Yeah, great artifact drops since there's so many permutations actually for them. Let's go to hop into topic number 2 here. All right, so we touched up a little bit about it. It's about the Dimensional Predator. I want to really dive into this and see your actual thoughts. Did you really have fun? Right? Did you actually enjoy it? Do you think the rewards are kind of nice? And just any of your thoughts you have about Dimensional Predator, since this is something that is going to be different every single month, but it's going to recur every single month. Go ahead, anybody.
I'll let you know. If you have an Armarna, give it a rage set, and one-shots the final stage boss. It actually, the scaling on S2 is so high, and one-shots the final stage boss. It's actually insane. I think it works with the Wind Anubis too, or the Water one, if you have one.
Wait, I didn't think about that.
It really only matters on the skill scalings, skill multipliers, right? And then just stack crit damage. That's it. Because speed doesn't really matter unless you're trying to speed tune, like turn orders. But like if you're running Vert, it doesn't matter anyways to start with. And like attack, HP, defense, that's all negligible. Yeah,
that's true. Just having the right crit rate, good crit damage, and maybe the accuracy in order to land stuff is probably the most important, right?
Yeah. Just run stuff with a really high scaling. So like a Bernard would be really good if you had a secondary awakened Bernard or Khan. Because there's S2 and S1 scalings are really, really high.
Yeah, because some of these units Comp2 was put in the game not ever thinking you would be able to hit these stats. So the scalings are super high, right? Because these units not supposed to have those stats. So if they hit really hard and they have high multipliers, with all these stats, it's going to be incredibly high damage. And they're still decently tanky. So it's quite nice. It's cool. What are your thoughts, DJ, on the new Predator? Have you done it yet, actually?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty easy. Like everything just kind of dies, except like the mini boss that you have to AOE. That was the only annoying part.
What did you?
But yeah, the boss doesn't do anything.
Really? The boss did a lot when I was challenging it. Maybe it was just the team that I brought in specifically.
I kept telling you to run the dark 4-star thingy.
Okay, what the hell is the dark 4-star thingy? The whole goddamn
her S3 was a big ass like dark ass ball that goes over, does damage based off HP or something.
Icarus. Everybody was using Icarus.
No, not Icarus.
Lynette.
Lynette. Like you heal off the damage dealt, and like you're gonna do like tons of damage, so you heal full every time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lynette, is that the key then?
Yeah, I told you, like dark 4-star. Like if you took like 10 seconds to look at that person's box, there was only two dark nat 4s like that were 6-starred. I'm pretty sure you could figure out which one it was.
Literally scamming. Use the 4-star thingy. The 4-star.
You spent like 40 minutes and I don't know how much energy, like trying to do the same thing over and over again.
That account that I was trying to do it for, I don't think he really does Dimensional Hole to begin with. Only probably to level up 2As. That's it. Because the runes he has probably can't do the dungeon farming, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe that works. See, that's the thing about this Dimensional Predator is that we don't fully know what is the easiest or best way. We could come up with like basic strats, but there could be other 5-hit things that we can figure out. Like now we're talking about scalings, right? Another thing that people told me as well that I didn't know was that when you get to that boss stage in Dimensional Predator, after you hit it a certain amount of times, it counters you, right? And that thing like kind of cucks you, right? It takes a turn and it counters, like that double hit is like so much damage, right? But they said if you're bringing units and you're violent proccing, just hit the towers. You can't kill the towers, but touching the towers doesn't add to that counter. That was like a real big cheat code. Secondly, some people were suggesting for free-to-play players to try Konamiya, because now Konamiya, you can boost up Lucian whenever you need to kind of nuke the boss on that mini boss stage, as well as when you get to the boss when you have dots, you can cleanse the whole team easily with Konamiya. So I thought that was 2 really big things that we kind of figured out today. And now I heard you talking about the scalings of units as well. That's big. So I don't know. It seems difficult, but fun. I don't know. I hate to agree with them, but fun. I had fun. I don't know. Well, what are your thoughts, Finn James?
So I took what Contua said pretty literally about using strategy to beat it. So I'm actually being really patient about going into Predator. So I have not done it yet. I've watched a lot of people do it, and I've been offered to do it on other people's accounts. But I'm trying to maximize on my dimensional hole energy, right? Because it's a premium resource, and as a pretty much average tier player, in order for me to really catch up, I really need to make the most use of those dimensional hole energy. So I'm gonna be real patient.
Is that a way to say, hey, I just didn't do it yet because I'm not good enough and I couldn't figure out the dungeons, so I don't want to do it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. That's smart though. It's smart.
Yeah, I think by not wasting energy on it, it's gonna pay off in the long run, and I get to learn, right? I get to learn about all these new techniques. I get to learn about Rage Armarna. Maybe I bring in Rage Armarna and just one shot the boss.
Well,
so I think it's
too?
I do have Armarna.
I got all the LDs, man. I want to be C2. Shoot, I'm actually I'm at this rate. I think I am C2. Where's my Armarna? Where's my LD at 5s? Oh man.
Yeah, so I want to take it a little bit patiently because it's just 31 days, right? So I mean, there's no rush to do it, and I think the other thing is, when I look at those runes and I watch people roll them, I really want to see the reasonings why people are choosing the runes they're going for. Like you chose Nemesis, right? You chose the Nemesis 4 slot, right? And the way I see that as a regular old player is I see that it's a speed chase, right? So if you don't hit speed, that rune's almost useless, right? To a point.
It's pretty efficient though. Like at the end of the day, if you hit a lot of the other stats, like I think it's like 10% defense, 10% attack, and speed, if you roll into any of those 3 and all 4 of your rolls go into those 3, it's like a rune with a lot of stats, right? And then
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you need the grinds. If you don't farm Nemesis good because like you can also get it off Alunia, but if you don't farm the first dungeon, like all the other runes are worthless.
Yeah.
See, now I learn. And that's why I didn't do it, because I'm waiting to learn the top tier strats.
All right, I like that. What about you, Lucky?
I think the most fun I had with it was, like, besides us being on the call, was the next challenge for me, which was trying to do it on my project account. So my alt account is like, I think it's C1 Arena. It just does all the PvE content. It's in a very baby guild as well. So I jumped into that account, and I think it took 3 or 4 attempts. So I had to try to get used to like how much damage output there was in the middle boss stage, because it was really awkward. I had times where I had both bosses down to like minuscule HP, and then I miss a crit on one of the bosses, and then that doesn't die. So I kept bringing it back up. So it was just like going back and forth with that a little bit. But I think once you understand the strategy behind it, it's relatively straightforward, but it is fun. You only do it once a month, and it's pretty exciting to get it out of the way, to be honest. I enjoyed doing it on that account quite a lot. And so on my account, the team I ran was Lucian, Fran, Crow, Verd, and Amana. And I replaced the Amana with Bella on the alt account. And it was pretty much the same result. You just want a reliable armor breaker there, and it works just as well. Don't really need the revive.
Yeah, that's true. I hate the times that you get those procs that you don't want. That's the worst. It's like you line everything up and you get the procs you don't want. I had
just
two
don't
instances.
put it on violent. You should be putting everything on rage.
True. If you put everything on rage, you can do more damage. It's true. But because I did have things on violent, right? On that account when I was doing it, I get the violence and you like kill that mini boss, and then you're like, damn, I didn't want to kill it. Another thing that happened was I had something on revenge, which was Verd, and I didn't want him to revenge, and he revenged and killed the boss. It was so
Happened to me as well.
It was like my Lucia was about to go next. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, so everybody got to talk about the Dimensional Predator here. I'm very curious to see the new strats that they have for next month. Did you have anything to add, DJ? No?
Yeah, what runes did you guys pick?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that a little bit since that was brought up. I got Nemesis and it rolled all accuracy, which was absolute garbage. So yeah, there's that for me.
I took Blade, I rolled it, and then I sold it.
Yeah, I took Blade too. I didn't roll it yet though.
I took the Nem slot 4, and I think I hit 1 speed, and then the other 3 rolls went into HP and attack.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. Sorry, defense and attack.
I have to say for okay, no, actually finish this first.
I was thinking about taking the Rage rune, and now that Josh said what he needed to say, I think I want to take the Nemesis rune because I think he's right about the Alunia grinds being easier to get, and I'm never gonna farm Karazhan level 5.
You gotta make a whole dungeon to go farm it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you gotta actually farm it. So it's like, really, Yeah,
not worth.
What are you gonna say, Fane?
Oh, it was something about artifacts. They need to give us more slots. I'm already maxed out.
What? What are you keeping?
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm at like 280 slots already.
They probably were gonna give us 750. They're just giving 300 first, and then just expanding to 750 later. Yeah.
Just start equipping.
Start equipping.
I mean, yeah, you're technically supposed to start equipping.
And then I'm gonna like lose where all my good artifacts are.
The difference with
I already have like 5 of my RTA units fully decked out with artifacts.
That's crazy. The thing with artifacts is that when you're kind of keeping them, you only need to keep X amount. It's not like how runes have so many different rune sets, and like if you roll something good, you could keep it because it rolled good, but you might not use that rune set. These are a little bit more specific. It's either A, you're gonna be using it, and you're gonna put it on, or B, you're not, and then you're just gonna keep a really good one as a spare or something. So I guess it makes sense that they gave less runes artifact space, but yeah, hopefully they expand it though. All right, 500, 750 as normal would be really, really nice. Okay, moving on to topic number 3 here. Now we talked a little bit about it, but this is something that a lot of people have been talking about and a lot of people have been complaining about. Do you feel this content is too difficult? I gotta bring it up. We gotta talk about it. And should it receive a nerf, whether it's B12, whether it's SB10, whether it's PB10? What is your opinion on this? Anyone can go first.
No.
As
Tomato would say, no.
True. And why? Let's talk about it some more. Right, give people the reasoning, right, to potentially change their minds. Because I've been seeing a lot of comments, like on my recent videos on like the new dungeons. I've seen a lot of comments in other people's streams and other people's videos as well. Just being so frustrated, so upset about everything about this update. Like from not being able to do the B12s, not being able to do the B10s, and not being able to do the Dimensional Predator. So, what do you think? They say it's too hard for the early game players, right?
Well, early game players are not supposed to be at that stage of the game, right? So, like there's that like line of progression that you're supposed to like go through. So like I don't know why they're complaining, right? Like are they like the ones complaining? Do they have their speed B10 teams down already? Like if they don't have the speed B10 teams, maybe they should work on that first and then just like slowly move up, right?
True.
Yeah, I would have been really disappointed if they came out with the content and everyone can do it day one at 30 seconds.
And also there's one more thing. It's like B12, they're saying it's really hard, but like we don't know what kind of team they're trying to bring in. Are they trying to like face rush it like endgame players, or are they bringing sustain in, like doing the long runs? Because remember back in the old days, like B10, like the auto teams were like 2-3 minutes long. When they were 2-3 minutes long, we had sustain in the team, right? So like if you can't face rush B12, maybe you should go back to like bring like something more safe.
Right. And you're going to get a higher drop rate, 2.5 times, and all those 6-star runes, so it's actually worth your time to do a slower run, right?
Yeah. Like when I first started dragging, it was like 2-3 minutes. I mean, it's only been lately it's gone down to 20 seconds, right? Like that's a line of progression. You shouldn't be going into B12 expecting to hit 30 seconds right away, right? Like maybe the first goal is like to hit a minute 30, is minute 2 minutes, and then slowly go down from there.
Yeah, I think people have just gotten so used to 30-second runs, and it's strange not to have times under a minute. But I think it's going to become a norm for at least a little bit. If you don't move your runes around, if you're trying to run the same team, you got to be ready to fail because they're designed that way, right? If you could simply use the same units all the way throughout from B10 to B12 and not experience any sort of failure, then it's kind of a bit of a letdown if they brought it out that way. So it's good that it's come out challenging, and it should make us think about the team that we're bringing as well. So that's what it should do, and it does make sense that way for me personally, thinking about what they've done.
Okay. What about you, DJ?
Usually, when they release new like PvE stuff, the following balance patch makes it easier.
True.
So
We've
like
seen that
when
time and
Raid
time
came
again.
out, they gave the like Death Knight's leader skills. That was really helpful, and then they like progressively got easier, right? So I think that's just kind of the nature of this game, is to struggle with the new thing, and it gets easier over time.
Right.
I think like getting the artifacts will make it easier too,
Mm.
because
You
that's
get
like
a lot more stats from
bonus stats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The accuracy as well, right? Since we just talked about the accuracy checks being a little bit higher, since they have a little bit more resistance, right? You want higher accuracy on the units that really need to land the debuffs or strips. That's very true. How about you, Finn Gibbs? As a player that might be challenging.
As a
with
a regular player, I think it's good. I think it's good for the game. It brings back the nostalgia of like actually having to, come up with a team. You're not just copy pasting, a higher end player's, speed team, right? I was super glad to see that I couldn't Julie anything, right? I tried and I was like, it's not working, and you had to go back to those old school philosophies like, how much support do I need to bring? Do I need to bring a stripper? And, it really brings back to the point that you probably shouldn't be at that level of content if you haven't put in the time. It's supposed to be the hardest content currently, right? It's harder than Raid. It's harder than Lab. It's the top level, and it's justified by the amount of, the type of drops you get from it. And I'm glad it's not easy, because I feel like people that started, 90 days already, they're like, oh yeah, I got a Giants 10 team that was like 45 seconds. And, when I started, even though it was only 3 years ago, we all started at that 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30. So it's good to see that they're making it so that it's not so easy for just someone to just show up and be like, yeah, 30-second farm team, easy, So I appreciate it, even though, I'm not at the top level, and I want it to be a little bit struggling,
Okay. Well, hopefully some of those players out there in the community that are, struggling and frustrated, I mean, it's a part of the game, right? It's like I made the example of, you want to climb the mountain, but you don't want to climb it, right? So, I mean, if you're really frustrated with the game, whether it's the Predator or the B12s or the SB10 and PB10, honestly, I told people, if you're gonna get that frustrated, take a break. Honestly, if you take a break, I swear, if you come back in a week or two, I think if you like things handed to you, like exactly what to build, what stats, exactly what teams, what is the best, what is the most optimal, free to play, slightly pay to win units, harder to get units, we're gonna all find it out. The community is gonna literally dissect everything and give you all the answers. So if you want all the answers, just wait a little bit. You'll get all the answers, right? And like DJ said, if Comptuous does find that, majority of players are having difficulties and whatnot, they'll figure out a way, right? In the past, they've gave us, like he said, leader skills. They've given us, units, twins, right? Which, literally changed everything for PvE farming. They've also nerfed things before, right? Instead of 5 stages, 4 to make the times quicker. They've also done things like in the Elemental Rift Beast, they've made actually those units actually a little bit weaker as well. So they do adjustments based upon the community, but it takes a little bit of time. So to, jump right out of it, it's only been out for like a day or 2 days, or just got released. I mean, just to be so upset about it that you can't do it is a little bit much, I would say. But I do understand the frustration. I can understand the frustration, yeah. Especially for Predator. I think most of the frustration is from Predator, because I think players got the I don't know, misconception. I don't think that's the wrong word, but they got the idea because Compto said it's supposed to be fun and everybody to do, that they're saying beginners can't do it. But I think to a certain extent, what do you think? I think the mid-game players or early game players can actually do it with the right strats, right? But it's
Right.
really
It's all about
based.
unit choice. It has nothing to do with runes, right?
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like more of an understanding of the strategy of the boss. So I hope that Comp just doesn't feel deterred from the community saying it's difficult, because I like that it's kind of challenging. It reminds me of Epic 7 that has like these abyss floors that literally take like 30 to 45 minutes to do it manually, and things can go wrong and your whole stage is kind of messed up and you got to redo it. But yeah, I would like to see more challenging dungeons in the future from them from month to month. So not to deter them from making it too difficult or challenging. But okay, good. Wanted to bring that up. A lot of people talking about it. Moving on to topic number 4. Back to the artifact discussion. Anything you want to talk about artifacts? What's broken? What's garbage? What's OP? What's strong? What should you be looking for from these artifacts? What units to put them on? What synergies are kind of really OP? I'll give you guys an example. Yeah, my first legendary artifact was randomly a water one that increased damage on fire units, and I rolled it. It went to like 11%. Stopped it on my Molong, and we tested it, and it actually did. We don't know if it's multiplicative or additive, but it actually did almost 80% damage instead of 70 to a unit with Reckless. So that's a big change, right? It's a very potentially big change. Imagine if it like max rolled, right? Could do maybe 90%. I don't know what the max would have been for that.
Can you hit 100%? Just like instantly delete something?
That
would be insane.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Right?
Get the 30%.
I don't think you can, because I think it's multiplicative. So even though it's 80, I think it was because like 70% is what Molong does, right? The thing was like 11%. Let's just say 10. 10% of that is 77. So it looked like 80, but it's 80, 77 is like really close. So I think it's multiplicative. But we don't know exactly what's multiplicative, what's additive for all these different substats, right? But did you find any weird or cool synergies from any of the artifacts so far for units that you really like?
I mean, like the subs that you can get from the two artifacts are different, right? I mean, there's a couple that's shared, but those shared ones are usually all bad. So on the element one, you're looking for damage. Oh, okay. On the element one, the best substat is speed gain for HP loss, and then after that, it's like any kind of damage multiplier or like damage mitigation multiplier, right?
That's element one. Got it.
Yeah, and then for the other one, the type one, it's skill crit damage or skill accuracy. Like it's gonna be very specific depending on what you want to put it on.
What about speed under inability? I've heard of that one being solidly valuable.
That stat's actually worthless, because if you think about it, if you're already stunned, like filling up your attack bar, then you go to your attack when you unstun yourself, your attack bar is 0, your speed goes back to your regular speed. You just get out of the stun faster, but then you don't actually get a turn.
Okay.
What about recovery? What's your thoughts on recovery, Josh?
What do you mean by recovery?
The recovery, the one that skill recovery percentage.
Oh,
it's like
that's only for supports, right? Because
it supports.
The skill has to heal. Yeah, I mean that falls in the same category as skill accuracy and like skill crit damage, right? It's like a skill multiplier. I mean that's fine as well too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I actually got I got 2 decent ones recently that, for me, the way I'm looking at them now at the moment when they pop up on the screen is what sort of unit does it synergize with? So I had a couple of them roll that were like speed increase based on amount of HP loss plus attack increase based on the amount of HP loss as well. So I started thinking of ones I could throw onto Masha, for example. So I had like accuracy increase on first, I had crit damage increase on second, and had speed scaling as well as attack scaling combinations. I was like, this is just written for Masha, for example. And it was fire type and attack type, so it just made sense altogether. So I think for me personally, I'm kind of just trying to view what sort of units it could work on.
I got a Savannah artifact.
Yeah,
I had one that's like 20% speed buff multiplier. So the
Yeah.
speed buff multiplier, I mean, Savannah already buffed speed, right?
Yeah.
It also comes with a speed damage scaling multiplier and some
Yeah.
and a speed buff. I don't know. It's like there's 3 speed stacking multipliers and like an attack base for the
So
first.
yeah, I'm just trying to view it like as long as like 2 out of 3 minimum of the subs make sense together. I'm like, okay, I'll roll this and see how it goes. Or if it's only like a blue, I haven't really kept too many blues, but if I kept the blue, it would have been like high stats that made sense together, as you would with your initial runes.
Oh, you have a
Okay,
Leona,
wait,
right? I have
Sorry?
a really
A Leona one.
I have a really good Leona one. It has both attack and defense scaling. So you get double the damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Too bad I don't own one.
So what about what to keep? Are you keeping any blues like for where you're in the game, or are you just doing all purples and legends?
Purples and plus.
Purples
Yeah.
And I've been selling most of the purples I get. My inventory is still almost full. So I don't think anybody who can farm it at around 1 minute should like keep blues.
Because you're gonna get a lot of legends, right? Basically.
Well, I haven't gotten that many legends, maybe like 10, 15 of them.
Hmm.
But purples, like you get every like second or third run. So
What about you, DJ? Have you gotten anything good yet? And what are you kind of valuing from these substats? Because there's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like don't make sense together.
Huh.
So I don't know, but I've been kind of just hoarding everything because I don't really know yet. Yeah, I don't think I got anything super crazy yet.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple legends, but I'm reading it and like I hate when I get the bomb damage one, right? Because like there's just some substats when you get it that you're just like, I don't really want this, right? I feel like the bomb damage one doesn't give value unless like obviously it's gonna be on a bomber, right? Like a Sierra or something. So the other substats were great as well, right? That'd be kind of nice, but I feel the bomb damage is kind of weird.
Sick. That's all I'm looking for right now.
I mean, but you're looking for Sierra is what I'm saying, right? But other than that,
it's not just the Sierra though.
It's not the Sierra. I have like
It's not the Sierra.
Okay, I'll tell you, I got 5 firebomb damage today, but all my bombers, wind, light, water. I don't have a Leavely or a Giana, but I got 2 Giana artifacts too today. I'm like, and then I'm stuck here with like 5 fire ones. I'm like, what do I do with this?
Time to build JoJo.
yeah.
Time to build a JoJo. Yeah.
I got another weird substat one. It was something for skill 4. I was like, what?
Okay.
Why? Like that's actual garbage, dude. I guess maybe Christina, like people are saying, and like the samurais, but like skill 4 boost, like why? That's so garbage. So garbage. Such a waste. Right. How about you, Finn Games? You started finding the artifacts already, right? Did you get anything?
Yeah, I have. I haven't gotten anything good. The legend I got, it's similar to what DJ said. It just didn't seem to make sense. You know, it has certain things, but I can't seem to find things, and I don't want to just place it on someone like, oh yeah, it kind of fits this, but there's like something that's totally useless for that monster. So I'm kind of just stockpiling at the moment, and then once I get to closer to like 250, then I'll kind of go and clean things out. I know for me, I have a lot of questions. I definitely want to see like an efficiency guide, like what's the highest it can roll at the start. And my biggest question would be, is the conversions, you know, is like, should I be crafting that hero conversion every single week? Like at the
And
start.
that part, I think, because after I learned that, like, whatever element, like the NAF4 you feed, you get that element back.
Element or
Right?
type. Element or type.
Yeah,
50,
type,
50,
element or type,
50,
right?
yeah.
I think it's worth, because like I farmed one day and I get about 1,000 of the conversion stones, right? So like I think you're gonna max out real quick. Like you're gonna have to use it somewhere.
So it's not one of those things like a reappraisal that you have to make every single week.
Yeah, well,
Depends if you have.
I mean, like,
stars,
if you
so-
convert something, it's 20, right? If you craft something, it's 40, I think. But you get a better chance at like something more specific.
I see.
Right, yeah, and it's limited as well. So, do you guys actually know how the normal converting goes, right? Because if you use that stone for crafting, you can also do normal converting, right? What's the logistics behind that? I've been hearing a couple different things about it. Is that
You start at 20 for the first one, and it's
Okay.
+3 every time.
Okay. And what does it
And it's
do to a
randomized.
stat? So let's say I have a artifact with 4 different stats there. What is the logistics of it?
It's like gemming. You can gem one stat, and then after that, you can only redo that same stat over and over.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
and
does it
think
gem
about
for
it from a
rolls or
gemming
no?
perspective. You don't get a choice of what goes in there. It'll just be any random of the options.
But you do get to pick the first, like the one before or the one after.
It's like a re-app screen. It goes before or after. You pick one and go select, and then you can re-roll it again.
Okay. So you can just keep it. You don't have to change it if it's something you don't want. But does it change with rolls or no? See, that's the part I've been hearing some people talk about, and we're kind of not sure. So I heard some people said that if, like, let's say a stat had a roll in it, if you were to use a conversion, you get a new stat with a roll in it as well. That's what I heard.
I heard that too.
I heard that too.
Really?
Yeah. That's why you should look
Really?
at this thing. But
I haven't tried it though.
It's dependent on what you roll. So let's say for example, okay, a stat can be like 2 to 4, right? Min max 2 to 4, right? If the thing had a 4, but it was a roll into that, when you convert, it won't be an extra roll. But if it's like, let's say it was like a 6 or an 8, it'll actually do a roll for you. So it's based upon what roll you get in there, not by, does that make kind of sense? That's what I've been hearing.
I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I feel like it's just rolling to maximum quality. So like it can roll
Yeah.
to max legend and that's it. But it hasn't been confirmed. I haven't tested it out myself yet in enough detail to confirm it. But I feel like it's just rolling to max legend, for example. That's about it.
So that's what they can do. So it's confirmed that you can roll to max legend then. You can roll to more than what that, that quality of that artifact was before then. Okay. Because the other way sounded like, oh man, like what the heck, Like if you actually hit a quad, like let's go ahead and roll some quads, you know what I'm saying? Right?
I don't think that's how it works, but okay. Nice try.
I know, right? Good to know. They also took away the legend converting, right? I guess they heard people going, "Oh, Nat 5 for a stone? This is BS," and they took it out. Right? They took it out.
Uh-huh.
I
I don't think that like, because like the gem that you get is also random. It's not worth it.
No, it wouldn't have been worth it. It was pretty garbage. That's why I was telling people you'd still get ancient crystals. Something to note as well with that when you have dupes and you get ancient crystals, I think people should be a little bit more frugal now in their stores, right? For runes, and maybe not gems, but it could be gems and grinds, but runes especially, because now runes drop at a higher rate. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll get the runes you want, but I mean, I think people should be a little bit more frugal with the ancient crystals and what runes they take, not just anything, right? Like a slot 1 vial with innate, right? Maybe if it's 8 max innate, you can consider. But if it's just a whatever innate, I mean, you're probably going to eventually farm that if you want to get that, right?
The shop refreshed right now, right?
Oh, yeah. It just reset for the month.
Oh, yeah, refreshed, yeah.
Yep. Speaking of shop refresh. On a small note, did you guys hear about the Giana nerf? Like, what's that all about? Like, did they write it in the patch or what
That was the best part of this whole update.
Oh, yeah. Let me change this top right here. Giana nerf. Shadow nerf. So it wasn't written then, right? It was just done.
No, it wasn't written. It was just done.
It was like the Celia change.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Where they just happen.
So what is the change if somebody wants to just let people know, for people that are watching the podcast?
She has 2 resistance checks on 3rd skill now.
Yay!
Which is perfect.
That is how it should have been, right? Is that what everybody's saying? That is how it should have been. So any Giana user out there, just appreciate the rank that you've hit before, because you ain't hitting it again.
Yikes.
I'm kidding. So it just means that Giana is just now way more inconsistent, correct?
You need to run accuracy. There's so many greedy Gianas that don't have accuracy.
Yeah.
Even with the accuracy, do you think it will still be consistent enough? Like,
I mean, if you're running 40% accuracy and then you miss, like it's not Giana's fault.
Okay. I mean, but if you weren't running accuracy before, it would still land. It's just because it's in one check, right? But
you just have twice as much to resist.
Right, that's what I'm saying though, because now the feel is that the first check is a strip, second check is a stun. So like, I think maybe Giana's nowadays, when you face them, it will feel a little bit different, where it will still feel the same on the strip, right? It should still feel the same on the strip, but that stun may not always happen, which is kind of good actually. That's kind of big.
Yeah.
So running 100 res against that thing can be definitely a thing, right? 100 res on anything that can cleanse, Animal, Vela, all that stuff can be very toxic. Amelias even, right, that have high res. Right, Giana's gonna have a tough time against those. So is that gonna make it obsolete, you think? Or people are still gonna be using Giana?
Nah, it won't change anything. Like, are you really gonna risk it? right? If a Giana skill 3 lands on you and your whole team gets stunned, I mean, still it's game over, right?
Mhm.
Right. It just feels good now, like you have more chance to not get stunned or strip.
There's like hope.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now on the opposite end, devil's advocate. If you were a Giana owner, though, I mean, don't you gotta be a little bit upset, or no? This or what? What do you think?
Long deserved nerf. Hello.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
About time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Last topic here. I mean, quick podcast here today, going over the different stuff, but open discussion. Right. If there's anything particular that you guys wanted to discuss, or you guys been hearing in your communities, or wanted to ask, feel free to bring it up. Have you had any questions or concerns going on so far with this this update?
Oh, I don't like that you need to take things out of storage to put artifacts on them,
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's a
right?
thing.
Like you can't do it from that rune page.
Oh yeah, because there's no management. Ah, okay. So we
Yeah,
need an
yeah.
artifact management then.
So that
Yeah.
kind of sucks.
Okay, artifact management is something we need. Okay, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
like the new rune UI thing is kind of clunky too, because the like grinds are like shoved inside the other tab now.
I can't
Yeah.
find anything in my rune
Yeah.
management. Let's
Yeah,
be
it's
honest.
awkward now.
I think it would be easier. What do you think if they, you know the tabs on the left, right? What if they made a little space and they just shifted the tabs on top and they made them smaller and there was just like rune grinds or runes, grinds, gems, and like the artifacts. I think that would be better having the tabs on the top because there's way more space right than on the side because they couldn't fit all three. That's why they kind of
Yeah.
shifted it in.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do you guys like how they just have the symbols for the runes in the top right now instead of the text? They got rid of the text that says it's like the type of rune sets you've got on your monsters.
Did they?
Oh, I didn't know this.
I didn't even know that.
I don't even know if I noticed.
I didn't notice that. Well, I mean, that could be a thing for like players who are not familiar with it, right? That's definitely a change. I did notice a bug though. I built up Pang, and I noticed it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, there's the eye. You have to click on the eye to know what it is, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you're muted, by the way.
Sorry, push to talk.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't give you the text anymore to say that's violent will. It just gives you the symbol in the top right corner saying set effects.
Hmm.
interesting. I did notice a bug though. I came across. I was building up my Pang, and apparently, when you build a unit, and you try to like shift runes from one unit to another as a whole. Like let's say I have a rune set on like let's say Hua, and I want to move it over to the Pang I just built, right? I'll move it over, and then after that, if I want to adjust any of the runes in the rune management, it doesn't work. It's blank, and you can't do anything. So the only way you can do it is you need to restart your game. So because it's a new unit
That
that you
bug's
made.
been there for a while now. Like
Yeah,
it
I've seen it before.
happens now, man.
I never realized it until now, like what caused it, but it's when you build that new unit and it pops up. I don't know if they can fix it, but I mean, it's a bug, right? So they should hopefully try to address it. I don't think that should happen, but it's minor, right? It's minor. Just restart your game and then it's fine. But I was kind of annoyed by it when I was rooting up the unit. Anything else? Yeah. Anybody in chat as well that has any questions or topics you want to bring up? All right, we got.
I just read one in chat
What?
that says another bug. When you put attack artifacts on PvE units, sometimes they're no longer available in World Arena. Restarted the game and it's not there. That's kind of awkward.
What? Is that a thing?
Didn't realize that was a thing, but I haven't really checked that one.
I haven't checked
I
that one
don't
either.
think I don't think artifacts are shared, right? They're separate. Like if you put it on a PvE thing and then you go to World Boss, it shouldn't be there. I mean, like World Arena, it shouldn't be there
Oh really?
unless you put it on too.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Like just like the runes,
It's
right?
like the
Like your runes
actually.
in RTA are separate than your runes everywhere else. The artifacts are separate too.
Yeah.
So if you equipped it outside of RTA, it's not going to be equipped in RTA.
Oh
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, do they have a button that you can just equip it for RTA as well from PvE? I wonder. But I
don't know
mean,
if the
actually,
button-
I think that was a one-time thing.
because
That's
I actually
great.
think that it makes sense that they don't do it automatically. Because think about it, your PvE is going to be a different artifact from your PvP, most likely, right? But the only issue is that your PvP in Guild Wars Guild Siege might be the same as RTA, so it's a little wonky in that situation. But it makes sense, right? It would be weird to have everything automatically equipped to RTA. That could be actually kind of annoying. So damn, that's actually a lot of work though. You have to equip the runes now and also the artifacts. It's very true.
I know something that was brought up in my stream and something that was brought up in chat tonight is are they going to change it to FRAR, free rune artifact removal?
I
Because
said
right now, currently,
go ahead.
currently you have to pay for it, right? And but all runes are free right now. So it'd be nice if you could just move everything around, right, at one time.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. I mean, I appreciate them that they did this, right? People are speculating they'll give us this free rune removal, but now that it actually happened, it's nice. I would say the runes is the most important though. This FRR timing right now is great because
Right.
I don't know how much mana I would have spent testing out all these different units and moving my runes around. Like it would have been like millions and millions and millions of mana. Like that would have been depleted. But yeah, artifacts are not getting removed for free right now, which kind of sucks. So I would like to see that happen.
Dude,
Yeah.
Speaking of FR, when I was reruning for these dungeon teams, I had like no rune space, right? It was like pissing me off because every time I make a build, and I was like, you don't have enough room. And I'm like, I don't really want to go back out, and then like, because then I forget what the build was, right? So like I just ended up like just randomly clicking runes in my inventory that were like not plus 15. I just sold them.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, they were like all legends too, because I only have legend runes in my inventory. But like I just sold them because they didn't like look too good.
Right.
But like, can we just get like more space somehow?
We need more grind space too, right?
Yeah, more grind space too. More space for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess starting off at 300 is fine, but yeah, they need to go to 700, 750. Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else of interest? This update was massive, man. Like, this changes everything. I mean, we briefly went over a little bit of everything, but this is gonna definitely impact the game, right? It's slowly gonna trickle. Like right now, people are gonna start farming, getting more B12 runes or more runes for their units, and people's runes are gonna get better, and also new artifacts, right? With new synergistic, combos. Yeah, it's slowly gonna trickle down into the Guild Wars, Guild Siege, RTA, PV dungeons. It's gonna get kind of nutty, man. I'm curious to see what the first thing to get nerfed will be. Like there's gotta be something busted that gets released, man. Some kind of like, I don't know, heavy damage reducer, too much damage like on a unit or something. I don't know.
Well, I think like because with the buff, like I'm running so bomb multiplier, attack buff multiplier, and then HP lost attack multiplier on my Sierra, and it's doing like 22k, 21k bombs on turn 1 in RTA. I think that's too much, a little bit.
That's insane.
That's actually insane. That's actually insane, dude.
Because you get the 200 free attack too. My Sierra's like plus 1600 attack now. Right, so that's already like 18 and a half k, and then multipliers when you add up, it's like 20k.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. And imagine once you start getting all of the conversion stones, like the right ones that you need, how crazy it's gonna be. Right now, it's gonna be limited, but I guess we can briefly talk about it. What kind of packs do you think they're gonna sell? I think it's gonna be conversion stone packs, right? Which actually might be garbage. Because the amount of permutations of what can drop is kind of high. Yeah. What rarity and what it's gonna be.
If they're gonna sell the conversion packs, it has to be like immemorials. Because
how so?
like,
yeah,
because there's too many elements, and right.
Oh, so immemorial conversion
pack.
Oh yeah, because it would be too random. Or do you think they let you choose? I want you buy a conversion pack, and when you do it, it opens up and you choose the element or the type. I think that's what it might be.
Ooh,
it might be.
That could be the case too.
Yeah,
actually, that's not bad.
Like, say I need fire attack and water HP. How am I gonna choose? Why can't you just give me like random attack or HP, and then I get to choose the element afterwards?
Just buy more of them, Josh. That's all. Buy one of each.
He wants to
buy more.
He wants the cheaper route because his is smarter. Because his route, he can get any like substat and then use it for any type. Is what he wants. He wants the immemorial of it. This guy, dude. Come on, man. You're trying to get the budget right there. I see you. Yeah, I mean, immemorial would make sense, but
yeah, it makes sense.
I think it's gonna be a type. You want fire, water, wind, light, dark, or you want attack, HP, defense, support. Choose. And then the pack instantly pops like random rarities of purples and legends. Is there blues? There's blues too, right? Is it blues? There's blues, right? Yeah, blues from like 3 stars that you can feed, I think. Right, right.
I think we're likely to see artifact packs before those, though.
Oh yeah,
Like
regular
extra
artifact
artifacts,
packs, really?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be
Wouldn't
garbage
surprise
though.
me.
Like I know people are always like, oh, they're gonna release artifact packs. Damn, they're just trying to make money. But you think people will buy them? Because there would be too like the amount of permutation. I can't stress enough. The amount of permutations is insane, actually. So, like
Yeah, like it's really hard to get the one artifact like you want for a specific unit, right?
yeah,
Like I've been okay. I mean, it's only been 2 days, but like I've been looking for Daphnis artifacts. Still can't get it.
is it like a missing health one? Like missing something missing proportionate to health plus
Yeah.
plus
Yeah,
defense
you get
plus
plus
defense.
attack for losing HP. That one, right? Like any like like plus speed for losing HP, plus attack for losing HP, skill 3 accuracy, skill 3 crit damage. That's what I'm looking for on the 2 slots. But I can't get anything like a single one.
Do you think the attack for missing HP is good? Because like I know Daphnis, his skill, he does the thing and he takes his health, right? But I don't know if the attack comes right away. It might not be until the
It
next
comes
one.
right away. Like it comes right away before your like the second part of the damage comes in.
You think so, or we know so?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure, that's how it
For
works.
sure.
Because you lose the HP first, and then you do the damage.
Okay. Because I was thinking the best one for Daphnis would be the defense one. Because when you get that, you lose HP.
No, you can
the
get both of
defense.
them. Who said you only have to?
Oh, true.
Right on the fire artifact.
Yeah,
You can get attack for HP lost, speed for HP lost, defense for HP lost, and like one more like damage multiplier.
Okay, left
right?
nut, please. Left nut, and you can purchase this.
and then on the other side, you can get skill 3 accuracy, skill 3 crit damage, and I think you can also get HP lost speed on the. I'm not sure. I think you can, and then like there's probably like then you can get like a attack buff. I mean, like attack buff. The buffer like you get an extra percentage for an attack buff. I think that's a pretty good like a sleeper stat. Like if you run Fran a lot, then you get that a lot. When you revive from Vanessa, you get that a lot. Yeah.
So what's the absolute most garbage substat? I must know. I want to know the flat stats of these
Skill 4.
Okay, skill 4 is
Skill
pretty
4
trash.
anything.
Skill 4. I mean, skill 1 and...
How about the revive? Like revive with more health.
Okay, all the revive ones are completely
Those are every time I see revive, I'm like, demon.
all crushing hits not that bad, because if you're hitting elemental advantage and you don't crit, it's a guaranteed crushing. So crushing hits actually not as bad as you think.
I can't think of any more. But there's some pretty freaking bad ones, dude. There's some pretty freaking ones. How about the scaling ones? The ones that scale, like point something of your HP and damage, 20% of your speed and damage. How are those?
Those are okay, but I think you need the speed buff to kick in. Like you need to have speed buff for it to actually get like a pretty big, like to see a difference.
Wait,
right?
not the speed effect one. Not the speed effect one. I'm talking about.
I know. Like like I'm like the like 40% of your speed is damage, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you just dryly put that on to like a unit, right? Like the amount of gain you get is like very minimal, but like remember that's like it scales multiplicative. Like if you get like the speed buff, because that's like another 30%, right? But the 30% speed buff, you can like have another multiplier on that from another artifact stat, which is the percent speed off the speed buff, right? So like you can actually like multiply that one more time. Right, so like if you could get all 3 out, like that's I would show you, but like on my Savannah, I got one which has both, like has all 3 stats, right? So like if you think about it, at the end, you're actually getting double the value, almost from the phone. Yeah.
I see. Wow, sharing so many secrets, SWC contestant.
I probably shouldn't show. It's okay.
No, don't show. Don't you can show. Oh, you're showing. Oh, okay. Respect. All right, respect. Yeah,
Can you see?
I can't see anything though. Oh,
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
speed increasing
that's solid.
effect 14%. Oh,
Right? Like the gem or like the gem here, attack proportional to HP lost. I'm probably gonna change that to speed proportional to HP lost one day when I have enough stones. Right? It's gonna cost quite a bit, but like eventually you get there and then you get yeah.
yeah. I guess as we start to understand more of these substats as time goes on, we will really understand what units will really shine with these new artifacts. So it's kind of nice. Oh, the artifacts are random, right? In terms of what you get, as well as it's random in terms of your substats, but it's also random in terms of your main stat. I've noticed that it can be attack,
Right.
HP, or defense. It can be that same exact thing with attack, HP, or defense, right? I guess
I'll be honest, like the main stat doesn't really matter unless you like you're chasing like really extremes.
I think it actually does matter for some specific units. Like it can add a lot of value because
A lot of units can work well with all three stat.
right. But I think it benefits more for certain units. Like let's take example a Perna, right? Just like example of Perna. If you had flat defense there, that's huge value because that's like in terms of percent wise, that's a huge defense percent for it, right? Because so I'm just saying certain units out there that are really lacking in a stat, it can be a huge percentage, but it's not like 60%, right? It's not like a rude, but it's like what would you say? It's like 10%, 10% of a stat on average for like a unit.
100 flat defense on Perna is 40%.
Wait, isn't it
On
1500?
Fran, it's like a 25% almost.
Yeah, it's like a 40% because like the base defense is what 400 something on Perna.
Yeah, 400 something. And how much is max defense on the? What's it?
100.
100. Oh yeah, that is
So it's actually really good. Yeah. But like on attack, it's still. But remember, if you're running an attack, you still get the crit damage multiplier, right? So it's not just you see 100 attack versus it's 800 base.
Right, because the defense has no scaling.
You still have the
for it.
200 crit damage multiplier.
Right.
That you count. You have to count that in. So it's actually about the same.
True. But it's a nice stat boost. I would say maybe like the two artifacts together, depending on what unit you put it on, is like almost a 246. You know, almost like a 60% of the way. So it's a lot of stats if you think of it that way. Did you have anything else to add or any questions you wanted to bring up in games?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it is as massive as Com2Us said it was going to be. I think a lot of players were like, "Is this really going to be the massive content that they're saying?" And I think they did a pretty good job. You know,
Not massive, but it should have came like a month earlier or like 3 months later.
Yeah, SWC is next month or this month, right? August.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
the
been
preliminaries.
like 20 something days. I don't think they should have released this like right now.
Hey, I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to watch, dude.
Josh is sitting there sleep replaying.
Yeah, like I have to miss sleep for like a month to farm this shit.
If they drop these packs, is it a mandatory buy for you?
Yes, because the first few packs you get so much progression, right?
Just wanted
That's
to,
why
I just asked the same question but differently. I just asked if you were a whale. Thanks for confirming.
Yeah.
I just worded it differently. All right. Looks like we had a great discussion today about the new patch and the new update. I'd like to say everybody's having fun. All right. Either A, you're having fun, or B, you're frustrated and you're throwing your phone against the wall. But nonetheless, it's a change, right? It's better than what the game was and being very stale. I think this was definitely very needed. I'd like to see Com2Us do more of this, and we'll see what the rest of the year has in store. We'll see how SWC will develop with all these artifacts for all these top-end players, and we'll see what kind of update Com2Us ends up doing at the end of the year. Because usually end of the year is the big update. So is this the big update? Or is there something even bigger to come at the end of the year? Who knows? But thank you guys for watching today's podcast.
A pretty big update.
This is pretty big, right? This is
pretty big.
Huge.
Yeah. If
Massive.
they could have just done B12s, and that would have been like a mid-year update, right? And then end of the year with like the new dungeons, that would have been fine. But now I'm expecting something like big as well end of the year. Maybe not bigger, but big as well at the end of the year would be really nice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the podcast. Make sure you guys hit that like, and make sure you guys check out the links below to all of their Twitch channels. Yeah, everybody here streams, right? Fit Games, DJ, they're also from Hawaii. They stream in the evening times. Lucky streams every day. Faint streams twice a month so that you subscribe to him, and then he streams the next month again so you feel rated. He knows. Nah, he's Faint usually does quite a few streams. He's probably doing a little bit less because he's preparing for SWC. So, but he does still stream. So leave those comments down below. Want to hear how frustrated you are, or how much fun you're having, or what's your thoughts on anything we discussed on today's podcast. But until the next one, I'll see you guys in the next live stream or podcast. Peace out, YouTube.